Hey guys, today we're in Birmingham and we're at the shooting show. Behind me is the NEC and there's buses and buses of people getting off and going in there. So let's get inside without further ado and enjoy it. I've already received some messages of some of my mates in the trade and apparently Game Ball have produced their own beer just for the show. Today is going to get better and better. We're going to head straight for Caesar Guerini because they dropped a bit of a bomb that they've got a new gun being released. Let's go have a look. So, what's this?
This is the new model that we've just introduced or launched at the British Shooting Show called the Revenant.
It's really, really, really nice.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Tell us about it.
This is a new 20 bore that essentially is our flagship game gun now. It is a genuine round action with a side plate. Unlike any side plate we've ever done before, because it is actually rounded in shape as well to suit the round action. Is only available as a 20 bore with either a 30 or a 32-inch barrel.
Do you think a 12 will come, or you just kind of keep it small frame?
I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but at the moment
you're happy for now.
Yeah. I mean, it is new territory for us. As you can see, you've got the Boss style forend on there as well, which is again something that we've introduced.
It's very tasty, isn't it?
Barrel. We have got selective safety on there as well, and the long trigger tank to suit. The
grip's lovely as well. It's almost a new profile grip for a Guerini as well. It's a bit different. It's nice.
So unlike on some of the other models of the Apex and the Forums, where we've got the long trigger tang in the end cap, on this particular one we decided to go with a bit more of a swept back pistol grip to the stock.
I'd say it's very Greener-esque actually. It's nice, like an old Greener pigeon gun.
Absolutely, and I think it just sort of, the swept back sort of helps the lines of the gun. And
it is stunning, isn't it? It is stunning.
More sleek as well. And another feature, I mean, is the heel plate.
That's lovely. Here's me thinking you go for like a toe and heel plates with the matching engraving and everything, but...
Well, no, to be honest with you, the heel plate was quite a thinking point for us because on the Forum model there is no heel plate, so it is essentially checkered straight onto the stock. This particular gun we've decided to put heel plate onto it because the difficulty you have with checkering on the stock with no heel plate is, of course, you can't adjust it. So if you want to make the stock longer, you have to stick a heel plate on top of it, and it doesn't look so good.
So this comes with one hand-fitted heel plate, but others are available if you want, sort of.
Correct. Okay. Yes, yeah. So you can get different length heel plates to go onto the gun if you want to extend it slightly, or even shorten it slightly. So that is essentially the Revenant.
Multi-choke?
It is multi-choke.
All of them are?
Yes.
And it's all built off a standard-ish Guerini action. It's not like an Invictus or anything underneath secretly.
No, it is based upon the standard round action. So in terms of the components inside, it is the standard game gun components you would find in every Guerini game gun. But it has all the features you have with all Guerinis. So you've got chrome lined barrels, you've got 5 chrome lined chokes.
Some warranty.
Some warranty, yes, you could say some warranty. So we include with all our products a 10-year mechanical warranty.
Which is perfectly. And how much is it? Because it is beautiful.
This particular product is $9,775.
Which is not bad when you put it next to a Forum, which is what? I should remember off the top of my head, about 7. It's the next logical step, price point wise. And I genuinely think it sort of runs circles around a Forum just in style.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, having seen a fair few Guerinis in my time, I think the wood to metal finish on this is absolutely superb. And the detail that you have with the Boss style forend as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The way the checkering follows it round is exquisite as well, actually, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All lasered?
It is lasered, yeah. So
it's quite a nice job actually for a laser, isn't it?
All guns have a certain element of hand finishing to them. This one included.
So this is fully machine engraved but hand finished.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is lovely, it really is. So this is an Invictus 7, which I don't think looks as good as an Invictus 5, I must be honest. But the Invictus 5 is a very striking gun by comparison.
Yes.
How you get on with Invictuses?
Very well, very well.
I mean, they are significantly better than your standard ones mechanically, or is that like a fallacy?
No, no, no. So the Invictus range started whereby they introduced new mechanical internals. So all of the internal parts are chrome lined and hand polished. Now, as time's gone by, a lot of the components are starting to migrate over to standard sporting models.
Oh, really?
But the Invictus internals are still entirely different to all of the other sporters.
Better or different?
More precise.
Okay.
More precise.
That's just where that little price jump comes in.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're essentially not necessarily paying for just what is on the outside, but it's also what is on the inside as well.
And you're saying that these are now nickel coated?
They are. They're nickel. They began probably around 18 months ago to nickel plate the actions.
Because they were plated before, but in something else, I presume.
They had an Invisalloy coating on before. They still do, but they've actually put a nickel plating underneath.
Okay. So they're harder than ever, is what you're saying in terms of visual. So you can really treat them mean.
Yes.
I tell you, that's beautiful, isn't it? That carving around there. It is very nice. And we couldn't help but spot that as well, which is kind of a cheap one by comparison to what we've been looking at.
Yes, yeah, I mean,
but it is spanking all the same.
From one end of the scale to the other, but it is
still a nice looking gun. Should we pop this back and have a look at that, if that's all right?
Yeah. It is Fabarm's attempt to create a gun that will last somebody from the start of their shooting lifetime to
whenever they qualify out of it.
Exactly.
And so we've got a D2 in, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
But that's alloy action.
Correct.
Is this alloy action,
No.
or is this a steel?
It is a steel action.
And that's the main difference between the E and the N?
The N2 is a completely new action.
Okay.
It is a steel action, unlike the alloy.
Vacuum hardened. It's very exciting. With forged nickel, chrome, molybdenum steel.
Yeah.
Sorry, now I'm going to stop talking and reading it. What is it? Tell me about it.
This is a new Fabarm N2 all-sport model. It's a gun that essentially is suited to multiple different tasks. So it comes as standard with an adjustable comb.
Yeah.
You have an adjustable micrometric trigger. You have two interchangeable ribs. So one 50-50, one 65-35. Selective safety. A beaver tail fore end.
It's quite a short stock on it, isn't it?
It is, because essentially it's designed to suit a younger shooter.
Yeah.
However, Fabarm do make different heel plate options as well.
So you could extend it out potentially.
Yeah, you can
so is it perhaps a good option for youth or ladies or a smaller gentleman?
Exactly.
Not of our wonderful stature.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the smaller stature.
Is this replacing the RS, or is that it's running alongside?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Positives and negatives versus an RS12, or?
You've of course got the ability, if you go for a QRR, you've got the interchangeable rib.
Yep.
Essentially this for us is the whole package for somebody that wants to be able to shoot different disciplines, and it's a gun that retails at £1,800. So
it's not a lot when you even think about that, and that it's the same as a pigeon adjustable, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
The wood isn't real wood though, let's presume. It is underneath.
It is real wood as such, but it's got the Fabarm's tri-wood finish, which is essentially a digitally enhanced.
How do you find that stands up? Genuinely?
Very well, I have to say. Yeah, we've never had any issues.
That haven't been caused by people beating them to death, sort of thing?
No, I mean, technically what tends to happen with a lot of stocks, which I'm sure you've seen before, is if somebody will be walking around with the gun and they will tend to keep it underneath their arm, and you'll rub it on clothing or you'll catch it on the seat. But I have to say, we've never had any issues with this dulling or rubbing off at all, anything like that. So it seems fairly well hardy.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that. How are you doing with Fabarm? Well?
Really well.
Yeah?
Fabarm, about 5 years ago, was 50% owned by Guerini. It's now 100% owned by Guerini. And in terms of the quality, you have to say, over the years, it's certainly come on leaps and bounds. And that's in terms of aesthetics outside and inside. components as well inside of. Are becoming more and more similar to a Guerini, that's for sure.
No, so the quality has increased internally quite significantly, hasn't it? What's S&H stand for?
Sporting and hunting.
Class. And we go from the beautiful and refined to the Super Boys toy, Cerakote Camo Magic.
It's designed with the camo in mind to essentially be
cool.
A tool to use, and essentially all the Fabarm characteristics. It will cycle pretty much
21s?
Not down to 21s. To be honest, you probably wouldn't want to shoot 21s. For the purpose that the gun is designed for, you wouldn't really want to shoot 21s through it.
I don't know, it make quite a nice sporter actually, for what it is. Yeah, we've got a nice big fat rib, it weighs about 6 tons. It's nice. I think that's quite a smart addition. It's got the black top rib. It's cool, man.
Same rib.
Fully tapered rib. Alright, I'm going to go and waste my time in the nicest possible way. But thank you very much for showing me some nice toys. And I'm not really sure why we ended on this one, but it is Western made. You're going to see this? You like this? I mean, this is not that exciting to you. This might be though.
I'll get a knee shot in
Look
there.
at this large tool. So my first reservation is that it's a little bit late after we've spoken about it for so long, and there's a lot of very, very good bullpups out there that this is now competing with. Things that is worth mentioning that you probably should be telling me is that the top lever, the side lever is moved forward, which you did tell me because I didn't actually clock it in my own little way, which means all you have to do is move your hand up, not back. The magazine holder is in the same place, so same as a HB 100 magazine.
Same 14-shot magazines, you can fit a single shot adapter if you want.
It is a 9mm underneath and a Picatinny on top. Can you take the Picatinny off and put a 9mm mount on there if you prefer?
This is a prototype, I've not dared take it to bits yet, I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either.
We brought this to the show for feedback from the general public, the people that will use or possibly buy one of these, and they want to have a look at them. So we've brought the prototype out, we've had these a couple of days, and it will be all on feedback.
So, tell me about it.
An adjustable butt pad, a dual-sided ambidextrous safety catch, which is pretty cool. I like that.
That's nice.
Clever.
Yeah,
A thing of bullpups is the trigger can be quite numb.
And front link side levers are usually quite poor as well.
Yeah.
That is the same as a H100
The trigger's
side lever to
just
feel.
as good as the normal 100, which is a massive selling
Unbelievable.
point.
It really is unbelievable.
You've got a really proper pistol grip that's so grippy. It's straight off the 44, obviously.
You've got the inlet really side pieces, haven't you?
Make a difference. I mean, I've got fairly square hands, and it fits really well. Got Firefly style leather, which, hey, easy to find.
It was a popular modification to HG100 anyway.
You're on. You don't have to move your hand far, which is really nice. This is a full length version. There is going to be a carbine as well. We've got one prototype carbine. Same shotgun as a 100, 110, 177, 130, 2.2, 70 and 2.2 in carbine, and 50 and 177 carbine.
It is heavier than it looks. Is the only thing. The other thing that I noticed is significantly heavier than it looks. However, it is lighter than a full length HG100.
Yeah, it's just weird.
But once it's up,
all your way to the back like proper bullpup.
Once it's up, it's lovely. It's just when you're holding it, it's all left hand because there's nothing there, is there?
You can do a left-handed version. There will be an extra charge for it.
That's going to be awesome.
You can have a proper left-handed cocking. RRP's 1140 at the moment. I don't want to mention the B word, but it's all dependent on what happens at the end of March. But
it's going to be over the £1,000 mark.
Yes, yeah.
11 to 1200 quid, which is pretty much where every other bullpup is. If you look from BSA and Day State and that sort of thing, they're all well up there.
We are hoping that they won't have to go through price, but hey, that's a whole different conversation.
Much prettier than the black one, isn't it? So it's what? It's bronze Cerakote with the same laminate handle off of the Black Star.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
there's not a lot more to say apart from that you need to see it because it's a really very, very beautiful air pistol. Obviously full 6 foot-pounds and accurate, and for an air pistol it's got a bit of bang, which is fun. This quote was actually the first time I've got my hands on one of these. It's really smart. You've got the M4 stock on the back, so you can change this out. I must admit that the Fab Defense one that's on there does not inspire too much confidence, but the rest of it is absolutely awesome. It weighs about 1 feather. It's awesome. You've got this carbon fibre bottle, everything else is aluminium, and the Cerakote just does finish it off really nicely. However, I mean there's no however, I want to get behind one. Fully regulated and utterly awesome, and it's not really silly money either. So we're now here at the Boss stand, which is always like the biggest magnet for me, because look in this cabinet. And once you've looked in there, I'm going to see if we can find someone who's going to get one of these out, because they are the finest guns.
This is a 20 bore, over and under, Boss & Co over and under, with a third rising bight.
Yeah.
So when you open the gun, you have the third rising bight there.
Locks up into...
locks up. This is just a slightly stronger action because the gentleman's going to shoot some heavy loads, so we suggested. And this is Keith Thomas engraved.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful.
And this is number 3 of 8. So he's got a pair of 12s. I
was going to say, yeah.
A pair of 20s, a pair of 28s, and a pair of 410s.
And shoots every single one?
He's shot the 12s and 20s. The 410 and 28s are in productions. They're going to the engraver. And he's also got 4 pairs of side-by-sides that he shoots.
How long does it take to build something like this?
It's about 1,400 hours.
That's a fair amount.
Yeah, 1,400 man hours.
That's a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half. Production, 3-year waiting list, purely because of the skill level that we go through.
Wow.
So,
and each one is entirely bespoke to the person, or do you have stock guns as well? Not that it's something that I can imagine there is.
Each one's bespoke. So you have a choice of round body, square body. This is fully round, but you can have a round body with a bead. Choice of engraving, barrel length, single or double trigger. You can also have a double bead on the trigger guard. Basically whatever you want. Whatever you like. So that's a 20 bore. It's a 12 bore, square body, single bead.
Is there a preference between the square and the round you find?
It is purely preference, so from one customer to another. And this is Boss Rose and Scroll, colour hardened. Just gold customers' gold initials.
It's stunning.
You have a choice of a gold oval or initials, no extra cost. And this is a pinless lock plate.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. And this gun was actually engraved. Although it's the Boss Rose and Scroll, it was actually copied from a vintage gun.
Oh wow!
So it's like old style Boss Rose and Scroll, very fine.
It's stunning, isn't it? We have here something that I actually haven't seen yet, something I've only ever seen in the catalogues. This is a Haenel Jaeger 10 DS. We've sold very, very well the Jaeger 10 Pro, which is the synthetic version with the flat blue. And I've seen this catalogue but thought, I don't know whether it would work. It is genuinely delicious. It's got high gloss blued colour on the action and the metalwork. You do still have the plastic trigger guard and mag, but actually you kind of get over that. Personal favourite, you've got the 2 big recoil lugs in the side, so you know that this thing is bedded somewhat. Beautiful wood, wooden bolt handle, and the 6 lug bolt that they put on them, not the 3 lug. However, it still has, sorry, let's put that mag in properly, a single set trigger. What a beautiful, beautiful rifle. For 1,800 quid, or 1,880, or something like that. Wow. Anyway, we'll put this back, and then we're going to have a look at that, because that's really nice. And no, we're not going to look at the K3 because we look at those all the time, but the Merkel shotgun above it.
We're introducing the Merkel 61E 28 gauge traditional English shotgun. So it's a grade 5 wood, nice butt pad on it, hand engraved action. So you've got engraving on the barrel as well. All dancing and legally forend, double trigger as well.
Is it available in single trigger? Not to completely trip you up here.
I do believe it is actually.
Very nice.
I do believe it is. So obviously engraving on the trigger guard as well, which is quite nice, hand engraved as well.
It's very finely made, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So yeah, would you like to have a feel?
Oh, of course.
The beauty of a gun like this, Tom, as you know, with a straight-handed stock, there's plenty of movement there. Someone like myself, there, John would probably got bigger hands. Plenty of movement.
Yep.
No restrictions.
Shopping. Shopping. It is now really, really busy. What I thought was a bigger space now, and the halls are certainly wider, is getting really quite busy. I'm born and bred outside, I love my space. But I'm going to plough on. In terms of fitting, you get a rail that you can just bolt into your holes.
You can get a rail, you can buy the rail as separate, you can either buy a blazer adapter, you can buy the, we're going to do the spigot for the sour.
Yeah,
so there is AI, it will fit. We've only got about 4 of these. We retail every pair for 45. So it's not a lot, and the case comes free with it, and what we've found, you're a gun shop, aren't you?
Yeah.
What we found, we did it on purpose. When we had the cases made, we had it inlaid for all the accessories, and what we've found is when people have bought that and they see the empty spaces, they want to fill it.
Yeah.
So, and we've
well,
sold,
sensible, isn't it?
We've sold well over 1,000 of these already.
Do you not sell it as a complete kit?
No.
You should do.
Well, it becomes very expensive. You imagine that, 300, 45, 45, 45, 50.
As you can see, guys, we're here on the Swarovski stand. They got all of their main gear. As it goes, it's all pretty good, but the one that you really need to look at is here. The most unnecessary binocular set in the world. They are singularly the most beautiful set of binoculars I've ever seen. They're leather wrapped. They got beautiful finish everywhere else. The case I could give and take, but this, in terms of unnecessary gear, that is way up there. I love it. Hey guys, I've got my hands on this. This is the ATN Mars 4. It is unbelievable. It's $3.5 grand, which is a lot of money. But we're going to try and now set that camera up behind this unit. It is a thermal scope that doesn't weigh 10 tons, but the definition on is insane. You know, you've got about 100 yards. We've taken it down that main aisle there. And between the color palettes, wow. Wow, it's the first thermal I would happily perhaps identify with, actually. It's that detailed. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to try and put Hugh behind here. Okay guys, I don't know how clear this is going to be. It's a bit of a difficult one, but have a look at this. Look at all these color palettes. It is pretty awesome. So you can update this. This plugs into your computer. It's got better battery life than any ATN ever has. You've got a fully focusable rear piece here, so you can sharpen it up to yourself. The button system is really simple. You've got big ridges between, so you can tell exactly which button you're pressing in the dark. You have a distance focus on the front there, so you can get this thing as sharp as you like. And it has a digital zoom on the side, which is pretty awesome. Changeable crosshairs, now we're using that zoom function. Look how awesome that is. And you're still actually should have, I'm not sure where this is pointed at too well, you should have good clarity there. Yeah, we're only looking at 25 meters at the moment. What we're going to try and do for you on this one is we're going to see if we can get a demo one down. I'm going to take it out and give it a whirl. Actually put it against some other thermal options out there and see where it's at. Oh, that's a bit nasty when it's zoomed in on someone ugly. Guys, ATN, they've come on leaps and bounds. They used to be bad on battery life, you have a lot of downsides, but actually this is particularly special for a thermal scope. I suppose that's the measure, for a thermal scope. The best bit about it, actually, although it's quite large, you could use it as a spotter quite happily as well, because it's not heavy. Anyway, let's move on. I'm stood here on the Highland Outdoor stand, and this is the new SIG Virtus. So essentially what they've done is they've taken the double action mech that was in this, the MPX and the MCX, and what they did is they chucked a longer barrel, different furniture, but more importantly than any of that, this is a 3000 PSI air bottle that you can fill up on a quick fill from a QCO2 adapter. That's going to revolutionise this. These were great, but they did get expensive when you wanted to start and play. Also, obviously CO2 is slightly less reliable than, you know, gas, because it's cold and so on and so forth. The sealing and the valve mechanism is just that little bit more complex. This really should be brilliant. However, there's no demo ones yet, so we're going to have to wait out on that, unfortunately. Charge and handle on the back works. The trigger is improved over the MPX. It is improved over the MPX. Same magazines and everything, so if you do own an MPX, you can update it. Apart from that, there's not a huge amount to say about it until we can get one and actually see how it works, which I'm definitely looking forward to. So here at the Blazer stand, and we've got some absolutely awesome stuff. Come check this out. As you can see, you've got a woodcock on this side. It's all hand engraved, and it is absolutely beautiful. The way that this scroll continues from the fore-end iron onto the action is just exquisite. Everything about this gun is nice. It's maybe a little bit much, but if you take all this away, it's just this beautiful engraving of the birds that I can fall in love with. It is unbelievable. Beautifully designed, beautifully put together. And I'll tell you what, apart from the fact that I am attached to the table, the handling of this thing, the way it mounts and swings is really very, very nice. I mean, just look at the fine detail on that. The Blazer Custom House really, really know how to make fine looking guns. The real downside to a gun like this is it is £27,500. I mean, it's probably worth every penny, but at £27,500, as we always say, the market is a very open place, so it actually suddenly becomes a very difficult thing to choose what you want. I mean, if you look over here, for example, you have the F3 Baroness. That's half the price, and it certainly is not half the gun. The downside is it's not hand engraved, and actually for 12 grand, you kind of want the hand engraving that is on that. This one is called the Custom Through the Line. You've got birds flying over a line of guns. You've got a beautiful scroll work over the barrels there, over the monoblock, with gold inlay, and actually the gold, where it's very, very small, very delicate, actually works very well. I probably wouldn't own this gun, but the engraving is beautiful. So here is a Blazer R8 Carbon Success. This is their top of the range sort of affair, really, or it's up there in their top of the range technical rifles. The position, the juxtaposition of the carbon next to leather inlets is unreal. And this is, I mean, I am a fan of this rifle purely just based on how different it is, to be honest. It's nice, it's smart. I like the fact that it's carbon, it's lightweight, and I love the fact it's got leather grips because that just adds that sort of craftsmanship aspect you might not get. You know, this rifle with a fluted barrel comes in at about eight and a bit, 8 1/4, 8 1/2, something like that, and it is stunning, absolutely stunning. Not a lot more to say about it than that, apart from it's an amazingly technical rifle. But quickly, have a look at this as well. We showed you this last year. This is the Monza. This is the non-carbon fibre, this beautiful soft leather with the red stitching. Again, it's got a lot of what that's got. This is only, I think, 4.5 grand actually, so this is probably better value, and I'd probably rather have this. It is really very delicious. That said, for £4.5 grand, I'd have much better ways to spend my money when it comes to buying a rifle. And so we stop at our final destination. We've come home. The very small offering of Maruku here, but they are all delicious. From the high pheasant 20 bore, the Mark 38 Teach Sporter, the Mark 60 Universal Grade 5, the 71, and the 38 Grade 5 Trapper. I have no more to say apart from this is all you need. Potentially, maybe. Obviously some awesome things here. The new X-bolt with the fluted, twisted, barley twist bolt. That's quite naughty looking. If you turn right behind you, the M70 Safari Express from Winchester, a brilliant rifle. That's quite exciting. In terms of exciting stuff, there's actually quite a bit, by the way, guys. Everybody needs one of them. And that's pretty much where we're at, to be honest. I've had a really good time. There's been a lot here that perhaps we're used to seeing on a regular basis, so perhaps we're a little bit spoiled by that. However, it's really nice to come and see some beautiful items, come and actually see a lot of things that perhaps we wouldn't usually have, as I said before, and, you know, it goes from the sublime to the ridiculous, really. Top no moment, obviously the Boss stand. Every year it's the Boss stand. Who wouldn't want to go and play with Boss guns? That's pretty much me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. At the peak of today, I only got one complaint once again, that this place is just a little bit too small. There's not enough mooching room. And actually, my highlight isn't Boss. My highlight was clearly seeing all the guys from Fields of What's Britain. I've watched them growing up. I've watched them as an adult. I still watch them. I aspire to have a little bit of what they've got. And they are all true gentlemen. There you go. Job done. Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.